Good evening, friends. We have Saffron Tiger back with us after a very long time. Welcome, Saffron.
Namaskar, Meena ji, and namaskar to all our viewers. As always, it's a pleasure to be sharing screen with you and looking
Yeah,
forward to yet another candid conversation.
yeah. Thank you so much, Saffron. So, Saffron, you would have heard the latest news about, what's happening in the NCB. So,
Mhm.
especially this character, Yaneshwar Singh. So, on the morning of April 19th, another controversial bureaucrat, Gyaneshwar Singh, of the 1999 batch IPS officer, was removed from the resignation of Chief Vigilance Officer, CVO, by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Singh was involved in the contentious Cordelia Cruz drug investigation case involving Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son. Now, as clarified by other top officials, Mr. Singh was booted out of the office after allegations of dereliction of duty and misconduct surfaced. The official stated a complaint about NCB CBO stay at ITC Narmada, Ahmedabad. Last March was investigated, and some officers on deputation were repatriated back to their respective organization. A part-time CVO for 3 months has been appointed to further investigate. In October 2023, the CAT nulled a review petition filed by Gyaneshwar Singh, who was heading the Special Inquiries Team of the NCB, in a controversial CBI FIR against the IRS officer, NCB, and past NCB zonal director Sameer Wankhede. Now, this SET report finalized by Singh was declared unlawful, and adverse remarks were passed against Gyaneshwar Singh by the CAT. Officer Singh had led the vigilance inquiry into allegations made by a witness against the NCB Mumbai Zonal Director Sameer Wankhede. So now, in a twist, and during that time, he was shifted to Chennai. So here, of course, there's a lot more news on that. So what is happening, Saffron, is that, see, you remember, in this was in March, no, in May 2022. The SIT gave a clean chit to Aryan, from whom allegedly no narcotics was seized nor he was tested for consumption by the early NCB probe team and five others in this case. And the officials of the NCB, which filed its charge sheet in the Cordelia case in Mumbai court against 14 persons, had said that Aryan and five others had not been named in the charge sheet due to insufficient evidence.
Right.
So now here, these are the people who are involved in that, Ganesh Singh and Sanjay Singh. Now they are saying that there was absolutely no, nothing found on him. And then after that, they filed a case against Wankhede, Sameer Wankhede, uh, where they said that in connection with the Cordelia case, based on communication from the NCB, the five persons accused of conspiring to extort 25 crores from Aryan's family for not booking him in drugs case and subsequently obtained 25 lakhs in bribe from them, according to the CBI. Was one of them was Wankhede. Now, so Wankhede has said that this is a case of vendetta. The allegation that I asked for 25 crores is false. The CBI action came 1.5 years later after the incident. This is after Mumbai police SIT probed the incident and filed a closure report. Now, you see, Saffron, it's so clear that karma comes very swiftly and acts. This man, he was so super confident that he went to Ahmedabad, and according to, again, these are reports, allegedly that he had spent some time with, in a report with a call girl. And this report was passed on to the ministry, and thus he was kicked out. Now, this is the same man who gave Aryan Khan a clean chit. And Sanjay Singh, who just resigned just previous to that, was the one who also said that Aryan Khan is innocent. And he was the one, you remember, who went to Shah Rukh Khan's house, and Shah Rukh Khan told him that it was his birthday. So he said, in which case he would come the other next day, that he would adjust. So we're talking about an NCB officer wanting to adjust, to the Bollywood superstars, said you, you know. So your thoughts on that, Saffron?
And like they say, right, what goes around comes around. So it's a clear case of karma hitting back. Uh, the funny thing is that people who were accusing Mr. Sameer Wankhede for asking for bribe from SRK are the same people who gave clean chit to SRK's son. So it does not take a genius to figure out who took bribe and who was doing backdoor favors. Plus, the
Yeah.
evidence that you suggested that Sanjay, Mr. Sanjay, went to Shah Rukh Khan's house, that in itself is a supporting evidence of what, like, Sameer Wankhede was not fighting against just SRK or the drug cartel, but he was also fighting with enemies in his own agencies that, that kind of turned their back on him. And we don't know what kind of political forces might be like pressurizing Sameer Wankhede to change his stance. But I'm glad that he stood by his word, and till the last moment he kept saying that, like, if I've done anything wrong, then I'm ready to face the consequences.
Yeah.
And people who are truthful, they have nothing to hide, and that is why you are seeing that Sameer Wankhede has been successfully fighting all through these years in what seems to be a clear open and shut case.
And also, Saffron, you remember, see, when the WhatsApp chats were revealed, it was very clear that Shah Rukh Khan was actually begging, him, Sameer, to, take some pity on him and release him and think of him like his son, and, so many other things. So apparently, the actor knew that there was something really wrong that had happened in the Cordelia cruise.
See, ma'am, one thing is that I can understand the emotion where parents are like, they want to protect their children. But I think it does not solve the problem. The root issue lies in how you have raised your children, what kind of values you have imparted, right? If he had any shame left, he would have raised Aryan better. Like, when you have all the amenities, look at middle class people like ourselves. We raise our children with very basic ethical and traditional values, and that's how our children, like, we expect that they will pass on the legacy and the same kind of values to the further generations. But when people, I'm aghasted knowing that Shah Rukh Khan, who came from such a normal household background, he did not have any, like, messiah, so to speak, and made it to the top. But instead of keeping his children humble, he passed on the wrong values, the wrong ethics, and he shamelessly, in some interview with some old lady, he has been saying that, like, he said some shabby things about his own children, or like having being drunk, and saying all sorts of things that even, I'm even ashamed to say on the screen. So I feel that the root cause does not lie with uh, like with Aryan. Of course, he committed a crime, so he has to pay for it. But I think the deep rooted cause goes to the environment in which these people have been brought up. If you don't clean up that environment, these things are going to continue to happen. And I'm not sure if he even learned from his mistakes, or is he back to his old ways. With the way these Khan families have been going, there is very little hope that they will learn from anything. I mean, they get away with running cars on footpath over poor people. They get away with shooting endangered species. They are always in some or the other controversy. We know that in SSR murder as well, their name is being linked. They are linked with the underworld. So it's like never ending cycle of all the crimes that they are directly or indirectly associated with.
Yeah, and also see when you come to what has happened to the NCB officers, and these are the people who are sitting on Sameer Wankade's case. They themselves, see, I'm talking about Ganeshwar Singh. He has no values, uh, and he is corrupt. If he's corrupt, is he going to be the man who's going to judge Sameer Wankade's behavior or what Sameer Wankade has done? Is he the best judge of Sameer Wankade's behavior? You know, so that itself is such an irony. That the corrupt people are on top, and they are the ones who will decide on a patriotic officer who has proved his mettle right through the investigation. You know, you can
And I
imagine the
see,
kind of
yeah,
the turmoil that he and his family have undergone because of him and people like that. That politician who was in the
what
Mahavikas
was his name?
Aghadi, Nawab.
Uh,
Nawab. Yeah, which
Yeah,
call kebab, but
Nawab,
kebab here.
Nawab.
Yeah, yeah. These
Yeah, ma'am. So the thing is that these people, they use their connections. They are all indulged in some kind of shabby activities, and when it comes to when they find themselves in deep trouble, they resort to their political connections or connections from highly influential people, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if businessmen, strong, like, very popular businessmen of India might also be using their influence to get Aryan Khan out, or like, because see, it's all linked, right? You have uh, entertainment industry, which is like your cricket industry and your Bollywood, right? And then you have politics, right? Which have, like, strong politicians, and then you have people who are in the agencies who are corrupt, right? So if at all Shah Rukh Khan, for example, is dancing at someone's son's or daughter's wedding, right? Of course, when his own son is in trouble for doing the wrong thing, he's going to resort to his connections that he has made through dancing, like, doing all that cheap dances in the politicians or the businessman's sons or daughters' wedding. So I think they use these network, and I don't think there is anything more to it than just pure greed and pure. So to speak, lust for money, drugs, and just haphazard partying. And that's why you see, like, people getting depressed, and outsiders who come, they get depressed when they see all of this. And you are expected to be part of the cabal, do whatever they ask you to do. And it's a more deeper like issue. If you see, there are actors who have come from outside industry, and they are, like, getting into the Bollywood circle. They have to go through a lot. There's also a thing called humiliation ritual. You will see certain actors who have been humiliated, and they have to just, like, bear through that to even, like, survive, let alone thriving in the industry. So yeah, there are a lot of issues, and very little
see,
hope
two
is
things
there
here.
from this
Yeah,
sector.
two things here. Yeah,
Mhm.
Saffron. One is that when this was happening, Shah Rukh Khan's wife Gauri was saying that, see, I'm going to be very strict with him. I'm going to lock him in a room so he won't go out, and I will stop him from partying for so many days so that he comes to his senses. Now, is she talking about a small child? you know so it's very funny, because if she's talking about a grown up adult, it's like, he seems like some retard who has to be controlled by his father and mother. you know and the second
Mhm.
thing is a viral video that went around, which Ori, the one who works in Ambani's company, Ori is asking the bartender. They are, Aryan and he are at a club or a bar, and Ori is asking the bartender to pour him more vodka. Okay, and he gives him vodka, and immediately he doesn't look at what he's drinking. Aryan, you just has it. So when you are doing all that at that age, I'm sure you knew very well what you were doing in Cordelia Cruz. Yes. And when these people caught you, the visuals that showed Aryan Khan showed that he was absolutely guilty. And also the fact that Sameer Wankhede was coming to some sort of a conclusion where he had discovered that there is a international drug link with the Indian drug link. He was coming to that. And that is when these people spoiled it. Now, Sameer Wankhede is very clear. Sameer Wankhede is saying that, see, I didn't do anything against the rules. They are my seniors. Whatever they told me, I did. How come they are now questioning what he did? And now just see the way he has been kicked out. Itself shows that whatever they say is a lie. You know. So it's really very shocking indeed, Saffron.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. See, there is only so much Mr. Sameer Wankhede can do if the people above him are not following the ethical standards of bringing people who are committing crime to justice, right? If they are going to target their own officials, then it raises question not only on the leadership of the agency but also the credibility of the agency as a whole, right? I remember when we were like, we are still fighting for SSR justice, but there was one. tweet that came like several, I think a couple of years ago from NCB, where they were like, portraying something about Bollywood, and some or the other way they were promoting Bollywood. And I was very shocked that, like, who is this person who is managing this handle of NCB? Don't they do their proper diligence to do a background screening of these people who are handed with this responsibility of handling the social media handles? I mean, how on earth can a narcotics control bureau agency, which is which should be proficient in knowing that all these people from the entertainment industry are hands in glove with the Bollywood cabal and the drug cartels and whatnot, you are promoting those same people? So it was very upsetting to see that. But yes, like I said, right, in all organizations you will have some bad apples. And in unfortunately in Mr. Wankede's case, he is like fighting like a lion, but against so many enemies from so many angles. Some are powerful politicians, actors, and then people from his own organizations. I can't even imagine the stress he might be going through, and it really affects you on a personal level. So I think what we can do is, like, continue to show our support to an upright man like Sameer Wankhede all throughout his fight.
Yeah. Jashi says SSR was a pure soul. Hope he gets justice soon. Saffron, respect and salute to you and Meenaji for continued support and love for SSR. And Ajay says Aryan Khan has no single smile on his face, no charm that a normal middle class boy of his age would have. Don't know if it's arrogance, attitude, or innocence. Here, Ajay, I would say that, see, it's arrogance that he thinks that his father is the top actor, not in India, in the world. So when he goes with these bodyguards in his four-wheeler, to these clubs, he thinks he's earned that much money, so he can blow it. You know, leave him for one day in the streets of Mumbai, and let's see what he can do. You know, so that's kind of very very sad that these children are
Absolutely.
brought up in this manner.
That's a very interesting point raised by our viewer. I think,
Yeah,
see, the kind of environment in which they live is not a normal environment. It is not something that I would say, even like only 1% of people on this planet, not even 1% of people on this planet would be raised in that kind of environment where you are bound to feel entitled, you are bound to feel like you deserve nothing but the best, and you don't deserve anything, and you want all of it without working hard or without working towards anything. So when you get raised in that environment, such things are bound to happen. The family is bound to break apart internally, and that's why you can see the kind of things and the troubles that Aryan is himself like getting himself into. So
yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
evident.
Yeah. So moving on to the second piece of news, Saffron, it's the notorious bullet shots at Salman Khan's building Galaxy, and the kind of reaction the actor has had. Now the latest news is that a 21-year-old student from Uttar Pradesh's Ghaziabad was arrested on Friday for booking a cab and sending it to actor Salman Khan's Mumbai home to pick up Lawrence Bishnoi. This came days after the bike-borne men fired 4 rounds of bullets outside Salman Khan's house in Mumbai's Bandra. As you know, Lawrence Bishnoi is a jail gangster who's been targeting Salman Khan. And so this cab driver apparently reached the apartments on Thursday and asked the security guard at the gate where Lawrence Bishnoi stays. He told the guard that he was there to pick up Lawrence Bishnoi. Now, the police officials present at the spot heard his name and took the cab driver into custody. The cab driver was then handed over to Bandra police. According to the police, the driver was asked by a person who booked the cab through an aggregator service to pick up a person named Lawrence Bishnoi from Galaxy Apartments. The cab driver had no idea the address he was given was Salman Khan's residence, and Lawrence Bishnoi is the name of the gangster, police said. On investigation, the police found the person who booked the cab was a 21-year-old student who lives in UP's Ghaziabad. The student was identified as one Rohit Tyagi. A police team reached Ghaziabad and arrested Rohit Tyagi. A case was lodged against him and he was produced before court. The court on Friday sent him to police custody for 2 days. So
This is so
it's very
hilarious.
amusing. As it is, Salman Khan is so scared. recently when he went to Dubai, he was there at the
Mhm.
airport and he was not looking straight. He was, scanning everybody's face, wondering where is this Bishnoi hiding, or is Bishnoi's brother or Bishnoi's cousins, So,
Is, is Bishnoi out on bail or is he still in the
no,
jail?
no, he's in jail. He's in jail.
He's in jail,
His
right?
brother is out. Anmol is out too.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is just another case of a boy doing a prank on Salman Khan. But the interesting thing is that even a prank is leading so much scare into Galaxy Apartments owner's mind that he had to send police all the way to Ghaziabad to get that 21-year-old boy arrested. In a normal case, it would be just like, someone would just shrug it off. But you can see how scared they are. And this
Yeah.
is not to say that, like, Lawrence Bishnoi is like a very ideal person. He may have his like crimes associated with him, but we all as people, we have become so frustrated with the crimes committed by these elite people that any kind of discomfort or karmic justice coming to them gives solace to our hearts. So I feel that this kind of fear should be there in their minds, because I think that these guys have become so powerful. They are so well connected. They have connections with underworlds and politicians, corrupt politicians, that they will go to any, then they have gone to any extent to get themselves out of trouble. We all know what happened in uh, the hit and run case in which Salman Khan was involved, right? So I think that karmic justice should continue to happen, and people like ourselves should continue to remind them that there is a cosmic universe, and that cosmic universe is definitely going to bring justice in one or the other form.
Yeah. Normally, Safrid, see, when such things happen, and we always say that, see, it's Bollywood, so, they should sort it out. The people who first react are the Maharashtra government. So you're now talking about Shiv Sena 2, which is under Shinde. Now, Shinde lands up even before I think he had his breakfast. You know, he goes and lands up at his door with his son, and there you have none other than Baba Siddiqui and his son. So, what I don't understand is, if it was a case of the black buck, okay, why is Baba Siddiqui interested in the black buck case? Okay, and why is Eknath Shinde so worried about Salman Khan's status or protection? Correct. See, as a state, you should give protection to people, especially celebrities, when such things happen. But to treat it as your top priority and say that you're going to destroy the complete Bishnoi gang, you know makes it rather dicey. So what does Lawrence have against Salman Khan? See, Lawrence has a 700 team gang, right? So they can't be after Salman for a puny black buck, right? So then Salman Khan obviously has another gang, and this is a gang war that's happening, right? And we all know that Bollywood is, what you call entrenched with drugs and trafficking and money laundering and everything. Who's controlling that? You know, and why is Baba Siddiqui there with his son? You remember why Baba Siddiqui's name is very suspicious? Is
He
because
was
when
also in
SSR,
SSR.
yes, when SSR died, he sent the ambulance, which was actually a travel van converted into an ambulance, and the man who drove it was a very dicey man, who a few days later was wearing a thick golden chain as a reward for I don't know what. So that was also flashed. Now, so when you know that, see, and they are rivals as far as political parties are concerned, they are fighting at loggerheads. So what is Shinde's relationship with these people, and why are they so scared for Salman's safety? You have given them ample security coverage. So why are you personally going with your son to make sure that Salman Khan is in one piece?
See, ma'am, it's a simple thing, right? There is a saying in Hindi कि अपने घर में तो कुत्ता भी शेर होता है, right? So when it comes to Bollywood circle, Salman Khan is having very, like, high influence because he has destroyed careers of so many people, right? He was also responsible for sabotaging and kind of isolating SSR, right? And many others, not only him, but many others. He is responsible for that.
Abusing many women.
Yes, yes, planting women in people's lives or abusing women, right? You go on YouTube and see the interviews given by former actors and
So let
actresses
me
about.
mention something very interesting here, Safran. So, when we did this thing on Salman Khan, this piece on Salman Khan, immediately I got a very interesting, person following me on Instagram. And who is it? I noticed that it is Somi Ali.
Yeah, yeah. See, there you go. So it looks like somebody
Look,
shared a
yeah,
connection
yeah,
with you
share our thoughts. So,
who has most probably gone first hand through all that.
yeah, and she has
Like,
suffered. Yes, yes.
mhm, mhm.
Some of her posts are very, very painful. If you read them in Instagram,
Yeah,
you'll know the way he has harassed her, and
and poor lady.
isolated her.
Yeah, and poor lady can't even talk openly about it even to this day. She talks in
Uh,
very cryptic language. If you see her posts, they are very cryptic. So,
yeah,
so coming back to your point, Meenaji, I think, see, I was saying that, right? In your circle, you can exercise all that influence and might you have, right? But that does not mean anything to people like us. We are not having careers in Bollywood. Lawrence Bishnoi does not have anything to do with Bollywood. That's what I would like to assume, right? So there is no element of fear for us to fight against them. See, if somebody is going to put my job in danger, then I will be scared. And if I know that person can do that, but if I don't have any such ulterior motive, right, I won't be scared. And that is where people like Salman Khan are having a problem, because they cannot do anything about this Bishnoi gang. They cannot sabotage them. They cannot do anything to us. What can they do? We are speaking on facts, right? Everybody knows what happened with SSR. Everybody knows what happened in hit and run case. Everybody knows what happened to former actors and actresses. What happened to Vivek Oberoi, right? How he was isolated. Okay,
what happened to
so
Arijit Singh?
exactly. There you go. He had to publicly post sorry so many times, and then Salman Khan acting as if like he's ignoring him for several years and whatnot, right? There have been people from the music industry who have been very much against Salman Khan. A.R. Rahman, if you may have seen, he does not like Salman Khan. Of course, he must have had his own sets of experiences, right? So, I would like to say that you can only influence your power and your underworld influence and your political connections to a certain extent. Regarding people like Baba Siddiqui, I don't think, like, the only connection they have is that he has been coming to Baba Siddiqui's iftar party for like decades now. So it's like I sc- I pat your back, you pat my back, right? You come, you show appearance to my iftar party. I will make sure that
No,
your
no,
drugs.
no, Saffron. Here, there is something much deeper. He's in control of certain things, you know. So
Yeah,
he has
could be, could be.
see, SSR has very clearly said everybody has a particular role in Bombay. So they handle different aspects of the whole thing. So
Absolutely.
I mean, we can't speak about that here,
Absolutely.
but
See, ma'am,
yeah, yeah.
my thing is that there was certainly what you are saying is true, because there was absolutely no business for Baba Siddiqui's van to be there on SSR when SSR murder happened. The next
Yes.
day, that travel van, which was made to look like it is an ambulance, there was no business. Don't see any question from anyone about that. No minister has questioned it, no agency. I don't know, the agencies keep saying that they are making a watertight case, they are almost at the verge of completing. That day, SSR's stepsister said in some interview that she has spoken to the CBI and we have to be patient because they are almost at the end of the last leg of their investigation. I don't believe all these things. Really, you take 4 years, close to 4 years, to investigate a circumstantial evidence case based on circumstantial evidences. Now you don't have any body, and you take still 4 years, and you are saying that you are at the last leg of it. You are investigating it from all the angles. Maybe people may have different opinions, but I don't know what's happening. It's very upsetting. It's very heart wrenching to see all these things happen, even after close to 4 years of SSR's death anniversary.
And see, you've also noted how Salman Khan has actually been obsessed with SSR. Remember, he had this, when he called him for a party, he had a fist fight in the name of Suraj Pancholi. Then after that, the recent Big Boss that he did was completely based on using SSR's name. For that, he brought this
Now,
Lokhande, Ankita Lokhande, and the whole thing was based on a dead man who can't speak. You know, their emotions and what they felt and what they did, half of which would be bullshit. You know, because that woman, nobody believes that woman. She uses and drops a SSR name whenever she wants to get a movie or she wants to get some PR. So even that Big Boss complete show was used, using SSR's name. Okay. Then there was another occasion when he said that, see, we have to respect our women, our sisters, our actresses. They should be always covered well, and when they come, you should always respect them. They should be very well covered. But all the women we see with him are, semi nude. You know. So what is he talking about? Because you found the last thing was some heroine was kissing him all over his face. Is that okay? When he says that respect them and all that. So total hypocrite, total like we say, dara hua insan. He doesn't know where to go. Every time this Bishnoi gives some threat, he lands in UAE, and that too in the when the UAE is facing the biggest flood, in its history. He's landing up there. So what is he going there for? Is he going there for some kind of help? And if he's going there for help, who is helping him? Can Shinde tell us that? Because Shinde seems to be very close to him. Can Shinde tell us why is he at every drop of the hat going to UAE?
absolutely, ma'am. And this is where I appreciate that you are raising this concern as well, so that anybody who says that you only talk about one's, one party, they should take a notice that we call out whatever we see, regardless of who it is or what it is, right? If something wrong is happening, that needs to be called out. And also, just digressing a little from our conversation, I see that a lot of somebody commented that people think that SSR was the youngest brother of all the four sisters, but Shweta Singh Kirti was not his real sister. Let me clarify that. Shweta Singh Kirti is his stepsister. There is nothing wrong with it, but I'm just calling out fact. So many people don't know that still. So that's very
Oh, so
surprising.
this is very strange, Saffron. Vidya is saying, speaking of people who follow you, ma'am, I noticed Salman Yusuf Khan had uploaded a video of yours on his Instagram. I randomly saw it on his account. So that means Bollywood might be watching your videos. Yes, that is sure for sure. They want to know what exactly the opposite side is doing or saying. So that I'm sure happens with you. Yeah.
So uh, I don't personally. Are you aware, ma'am, which of your videos was shared on his Instagram?
No, I don't. I must ask Vidya. Shame on Maharashtra CM, visit SKI. Yes. So, absolutely. So, what is happening, Saffron, is that, see, unless, our politicians are clean, we cannot
Yes.
have a non-corrupt state, and see, when you say that, see, people think that I'm a right winger. Actually, from the right wingers also, I get a lot of backlash, you know and they think that, see, my neutrality is not good for them. So it really doesn't matter, because if you're a true journalist, you will give both sides of the view. So I'm not bothered, because I'm not asking for a ministership anywhere,
You're not
so
asking for
I'm
a
fine.
ministership or a 3 or 4 BHK flat, right?
Yeah.
Which many
Yeah.
journalists, so-called journalists, have been asking
Yeah.
and have gotten as
So
well. So
Yeah. So Priya is asking, can you explain how she is stepsister, please?
she's a sister from another mother. That's all. Yeah, she's a sister, and yeah, so she's a sister from another mother, and I feel that like even her involvement like is very, I mean, like okay, at least she's raising voice for justice. That's all I can say, and I'll end it at that. But I have a lot of differences on opinion in about the manner in which she is conducting that. But it's okay. Everyone has their own way of raising voice for justice. At the end of it, I just hope that we get justice in SSR case. But like you rightly
One.
pointed out one point. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah. No, no, go ahead.
No, I
Finish
was
your
saying
point.
that I was saying that you said that unless the politicians are not
Yeah.
clean,
Yeah.
nothing is
Yeah.
going to happen, right? See,
Yeah.
that's why one of the interesting things I also feel is that when this SSR thing was happening, no political party uh, tweeted against Bollywood cartel. Yeah, there were. We saw Mr. Rane and Nitesh Rane tweeting about Aditya Thackeray, but there was not a single point that was raised on Bollywood or how he was being treated
In
or
fact,
on Nagesh.
Smriti Irani even said that it's a suicide, maybe a suicide.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
So
So
here, Saffron, see, I feel now that in this case of Ganesh was saying, now some common man has found out that he did this scandal, okay, and has shot this letter to the ministry. Now, if it was the NCB, they would have hushed it, and there would have been politicians who would have helped him cover it. So here again, I feel the public have made sure that this guy is sacked.
absolutely, absolutely,
Otherwise it would have been covered up. To
absolutely.
protect NCB's reputation and say that Sameer is guilty.
Absolutely, man. But see, that's the thing. Even with the change in government, if the new politician is doing the same thing that the old politicians are doing, then what is the point, right?
Yeah,
And there is no
yeah,
point in like expecting justice, right? I see a
yeah.
comment, it says that there is a still video of your
Ah, yes.
conversation with
This
that
is
person.
this one I've seen. It's a guy called Salman who featured the conversation with Dr. Shiva, who's an aspirant for the U.S. president. So apparently he liked that very much because he was speaking against Zionists, right?
Oh,
So Dr. Shiva was speaking against Zionists. So I think that was why. And he was saying this is a very intelligent channel, and look at the way they are discussing this without
so
any
this so
bias.
this so this video was shared by Salman Khan.
Not this Salman Khan, some other Salman Yusuf
Another
Khan.
Salman Khan. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay, I see,
not
I
our
see.
our not our Dara words.
Look what the world has come to. We have to call him like our Salman Khan.
That's because he's a bhai for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's a Panoti. He's everything you wouldn't want anywhere close to your life. And yes,
Yeah.
like someone said, Sameer Wankhede is the real hero. So I truly
Yeah,
agree.
and true karma.
And
See, if you realize he's played it very low, he's never, been involved in any of this, mudslinging. So it's, it's a pleasure to have and speak to people like Sameer Wankhede, who was there, who was come for several interviews in our channel, and he respects people like us who stand for him and for SSR. So that's a very good thing, Safrin,
absolutely, man.
because for the
Absolutely.
last so many years we've been fighting here relentlessly. Many people have given up, and now there are only a few people who you can count in, the fingers of your hand. So
Absolutely,
with
man.
that,
It is such a shame that some YouTubers where Sameer Wankhede ji went, they are the same YouTubers now attacking him non-stop. So it is a very upsetting thing to watch. But
yeah,
keeping that aside, we will continue to raise our voice for justice,
yeah,
and hopefully we'll see light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah. Thank you so much, Safran, for your time, and we look forward to your joining whenever you
Thank you,
find the
ma'am.
time.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me, and Jai Shri
thank
Ram.
you. Yeah, Jai Shri Ram.